I'm here to talk about my illumination project that took place in May this year. First of all, I'd just like to thank Ali, Steve and the team for organising this event. I'm sure you'll all agree that this is a brilliant event for Bradford and it's just exactly what we need as a city. So, I illuminated an English heritage site, which incidentally, as you can see on the images, is a cemetery. It sounds weird, doesn't it? I'm not a crazy mad lady who has a fetish for cemeteries. There's a lot more to it and hopefully I can explain it further to you. So, I've lived in Bradford all my life and a couple of things still bother me really, even now. But particularly I noticed it when I went away to university in York to study theatre. Anytime I tell anybody I'm from Bradford, you get this look of as if I'm going to stab somebody, you know? And it bothers me because I always say to people, well, what's that for? Well, it's rough there, isn't it? Well, no, actually, where I live, it's really nice. When was the last time you came? Oh, I've never been. We've got a bit of a battle on our hands, I think, here. And I can kind of understand why, because every time I find, there's good and bad in every city, but for some reason, every time something negative happens in this city, the media go mad for it, and, you know, it goes national. So I became, and I still am, increasingly concerned with this negative media attention that Bradford seems to have on loop. To name a few stories that have gone national, include the 2001 Bradford riots that are constantly chucked at us. This happened 10 years ago. There's a lot more going on in Bradford that can be associated with the city. Also, the Bradford policewoman, Sharon Beshanevsky, the murder of her, that's constantly thrown in the loop. The crossbow cannibal. And more recently, the withdrawal of the Westgate shopping centre investment. And I think that this all seems to have a bit of a pessimistic weight on the city, leaving the inhabitants of Bradford a little bit uncertain of the future ahead. And I wanted to do something about that. And I tell you what as well, coming from Bradford, why on earth do people tell who are from Bradford, why do they say they're from Leeds? You know, that really winds me up. At least you could say Harrogate or somewhere like that, but no, it has to be Leeds. And that bothers me. Clearly a lot of things bother me right now. I have issues. But also, because I think if the people in Bradford don't believe in this city, then we don't have a chance. But so long as the people in this city believe in it, then we could go somewhere, definitely. Also, what concerned me, free advertising, are these books here. For everybody who probably can't see them, they're actually books on Bradford's history. And in them we learn about the success of Bradford, how it was the most successful city next to London in the 19th century, and also elements like how Bradford had more millionaires in the UK than anywhere else. You know, you've got some really impressive facts. I'm going to put them down now. In there. So, my grandparents have cupboards full of them. They really do. And which is great. It's great for local history, but I find it potentially damaging when all positive elements are locked within a book. So I wanted to do something about that. And this came to me to highlight the positive elements of Bradford that exist today that are not locked in the past and are not locked in a book. Let's look at what we've got in Bradford right now, which is pretty impressive. You're sitting in one of them right now. This is a prime example of what Bradford has to offer. So this brought me to utilise the art's wonderful nature of bringing people together to observe something. And in this respect, it's to observe something pretty positive, which then brought me to Undercliff Cemetery, as you can see on the images. Some of them of the illumination, my mum took the pictures for, so I can only apologise. She's not a professional photographer, but you kind of get the gist of what went on. The cemetery itself, as you can see, this is an Illingworth monument, and that's the choir who sang at the event. But it spans over 26 acres, so these pictures really don't justify the place. if you haven't been and you're from Bradford, you really should go, because it's a real gem that we've got, even though it sounds bizarre because it's still just a cemetery. But it was opened in 1894 and it contains a total of 23,000 graves. So the place is huge. It's now run and maintained by a charity, and it houses the finest, most beautiful Victorian funerary art. Like I say, it's a real gem, so you should go. Many of the affluent and famous people of Bradford from the 19th and 18th century are actually buried there. And the cemetery sits at the highest possible point in Bradford, and this is the best point of all of this project. These people were buried there because they wanted to spend eternity overlooking their city. That is how proud they were to be Bradfordian. I don't think we have that anymore. And and it's a shame. I'm proud to be from Bradford. I don't say I'm from Leeds. So, also as well, a lot of people don't know it exists, so it was kind of highlighting that this place exists as well. I wanted to bring back again this strong element of civic pride that once existed in the 18th and 19th century. So I decided to illuminate the cemetery at night to bring together the people of Bradford to remind themselves of why we should all be proud to say that we're from Bradford and not Leeds. Moreover, the project highlighted the talent that we have in Bradford. On one of the images you can see a group of people. It's actually the Bradford Festival Choral Society. This group have been the Choir, and they've been going since the 19th century, and they are so talented. I didn't even know they existed until a year ago. And it's a shout out about the people in the city and the talent that we've got. Also, the illumination, it wasn't done by me at all. I really can't take credit for that. It was done by the stage management company, who again are a Bradford-based company. They've actually been headhunted and they're going to America. They're doing a tribute about the Titanic in light. You know, these people are really, really talented and they're really impressive. And again, we should shout out about them. So that's the best thing I found about this project, is the people involved in it. It looks like it took loads of effort, but it didn't. And do you know why? It was because the people in Bradford made it so easy and helped. The list of people who helped me in this project is endless. They really did. They couldn't do enough for me. And again, it's that the people in Bradford are brilliant. You know, we should be proud of where we come from. The project itself, it wasn't funded by my university. They refused to fund it. Not that I'm bitter or anything like that. So I had to go around different Bradford-based organisations to ask for funding, which obviously they gave me. Also, the amount of media coverage that I had was phenomenal. Again, radio, television, local newspaper. Like I said, those people, whether it be funding or promotion, who helped me out, was endless. The list was really endless. It really was, and I can't thank them enough. For me, it took the arts to promote and highlight Bradford and the positive aspects of Bradford. Sometimes it needs highlighting, places like this. It needs highlighting to those people who say that they're from Leeds when they're really from Bradford. And it actually rained on the evening, typically in May. But it didn't stop more than 100 people attending the event. And I also provided battery-powered candles to the audience, so they were as part of the building the light installation as the stage management company were. When I say I'm from Bradford, I say it with pride, to be honest with you, because I am proud to be from Bradford, and I'm proud of all the achievements that we've made. But going forward, I think there's a lot more to be made, and this project and art and creativity, I find, are the catapult of it, really. And when you have something in your city that you are proud of, I believe you should show it off. following the success of the cemetery illumination, it's actually been decided that it will become an annual event, so there's no excuse next time for not coming. So that's great. That's, you know, again, I've kick-started something that's going to be a good event to promote Bradford. I have other art-related ideas in mind to promote the city, which inevitably really will encourage people to visit. Also, the arts, I find, have a wonderful ability to make the invisible visible, and this is what this project highlights really. Through using the arts, the community is offered a means of uniting and could potentially confirm that Bradford is not a city to be overlooked. By portraying our wonderful city through the arts, it may indeed attract people who otherwise would not visit, and could potentially encourage new business opportunities and industry to come and think, yeah, actually, this city and these people are well worth investing in. Thank you for listening.